We now have growing confidence that this weekend will feature multiple rounds of rain and thunderstorms. Now, that's not the only chance for rain throughout this week, but Saturday and Sunday still look to be the main event to go along with that. Right this second, and again, this will probably change at least a little bit, we're expecting mainly PM activity, widespread totals of 1 to 2 inches, and the potential for some isolated flooding or some isolated severe weather as well. Speaking of, as we await the first system that comes before this weekend, Wednesday brings a chance for an isolated strong storm as well. Right now, though, I think things are mainly going to be more of a fanfare off to our north, where you see that 2 out of 5 risk stretching from Waco up through the Metroplex and into Oklahoma, down into the Brazos Valley, along and north of essentially Highway 21. We've got that 1 out of 5 or isolated risk for a strong storm or two. So again, that covers, we'll call that the northern half of the area, most definitely, but this is a classic scenario for what we call a conditional rain and thunderstorm threats. Let's look at what is going on right now, though, as we see clear skies across the state of Texas. That, of course, set to change here pretty soon as we monitor these couple of low pressure systems. One that brought us all the wind on Sunday, that is moving off of the East Coast. Here is Wednesday's storm system that is going to cover some ground over the next couple of days and try to drag a front down our way ahead of the big one. So here's Wednesday's low. Notice all the showers and storms that it creates, and then it just kind of leaves some of that moisture waiting for us as we get closer to the weekend. So again, a fleeting chance for rain and thunderstorms on Wednesday, and then enough moisture to maybe spark up a couple Thursday and Friday. But the next trough of low pressure that rolls through actually detaches itself from the parent jet stream. And what that does, as this low pressure system just kind of stews around Southern California, it flings moisture and disturbances our way over the course of the weekend, maybe even a couple of days into next week as well. So what this very well could set up is a scenario for widespread areas getting 3 to 4 inches of rain or more. So again, here is that potential for some rain and storms on Wednesday. I think that's a little bit too bullish for what we have in the forecast, but that's rain chance number 1, essentially. Then we go into the weekend, and what we have notably seen with afternoon model data is that cluster of higher rainfall totals inching a little bit farther to the south and east and including more of the Brazos Valley. So what that could mean for us is that flooding potential goes up, and we see the rain and storm chance extend beyond the weekend and into early next week. Near certainty that we find rainfall with this event on Saturday and Sunday, especially the amounts, the locations, whether we find severe weather, that is all still to be determined, though I think right now the higher threat for severe weather is going to be off to our north and west once again. Not going to rule that out just yet, though. Heavy rain, isolated 4-inch totals as a possibility. It's time we start thinking about that possibility, but not necessarily expecting it just yet. Like I said, we're still going for widespread totals of 1 to 2 inches. That would obviously lead to a flooding concern, and especially if we see thunderstorms pop up in the afternoon, some strong winds, some hail, and yes, an isolated tornado risk could materialize with that as well. Those are not the chief of our concerns as of right now. Another way to look at this, Wednesday, we'll bump that up modestly to about a 30% shot at some afternoon showers and that isolated strong storm. Thursday and Friday, for the most part, are looking quiet, and that could even go all the way through your Friday evening plans before we really ramp up the activity again headed into this weekend. So this obviously a fluid forecast. We will continue to iron things out, fine-tune them, especially in terms of timing and impacts as we get closer to the weekend, as we are still several days out. But as early as Wednesday, time to start paying attention to the forecast once again. And if you've got weekend outdoor plans, make sure you are ready and prepared and watching the forecast.